Welcome, everyone, to the 12th week of the CRL3 season. We have an exciting race for you guys today, so let's get right into it. This is CRL3. What's up, everyone? We got 8 matchups here. We're going to kick right into our first matchup. We got Brendan Chrisman versus Luke Mullen. Brennan is going to be in lane 2. Luke is in lane 4. Now, this is a loop circuit. Whichever car goes the furthest distance wins. Obviously, that's not a really good way to start things off, but you get the point. They're going to have to go through the loop and make it all the way down the circuit. We got Bill versus Mock here. This is a very disappointing showing of these cars going through the loop right now, but Mock's going to score the first point for Luke there after a no-show from the first headliners. We got Nuke versus Mario, and Nuke just barely lands ahead of Mario there. Going to score Luke a second point there. So we got Locust versus Mako here. Let's see what's going to happen. And whoa, there we go. See, that's more of what we want to see here. Going all the way down towards there. You can see the podium. First, the 3 wins, obviously. So we got Locomotive versus Hammerhead. If Brennan wins this, or we're going to see our first 2 headliners, but we are not. Luke will take the win here with Hammerhead, winning over Locomotive, and there are our winners. There we got Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Next up, we got Lane versus Caleb. Now, this is a very interesting matchup because this is the first time Lane and Caleb have faced since the first season of CRL, where they faced off in the finals, and Lane was victorious over Caleb, a 3-1 victory. Caleb's going to start off strong here with Cosmic Coupe, so some could say this is Caleb's revenge game, but, it's not revenge if you don't win, so we're going to find out who's going to win here. We got Water Taxi versus Tokyo, and Tokyo just fumbles with Lane scoring another point. I don't even know what happened there. It looked like he just got off the wrong footing there. We got Bubble versus Falcon here. Falcon was pretty good in his loop testing and fails to hit the loop, but still, it looks like his 2 wheels are over the track, and that's going to count as a point for Caleb there, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Caleb's going to get the point there. We got Pop versus True Blue. Let's see here. And Pop's going to take it all the way to tie up this matchup here, right before the jointer puts them together, throws them around. So next up, we got Fizz versus Rex. Let's see who's going to take this. And it's very close. And Rex is going to just score it. That could have gone either way. That was a good way to end it off. But Caleb's going to get his revenge against Lane. Obviously, not when it really matters because Lane is a CRL champion and Caleb is not. But you never know. Still a couple weeks left. I mean, there's only, if I'm not mistaken, 4 weeks left in the regular season. And a lot of teams have some making up to do. But with that, Caleb actually clinches playoffs. So he's the first team to solidify himself in the playoffs. So, we're interrupting this little matchup here. We got Bowser versus Neon here. And Neon just doesn't know where to go. But looks like Bowser didn't either. So, yeah, this battle of the Bens here. See who the better Ben is. We got Luigi versus Vampira, and Vampira just barely flips and saves that for Ben to get 2 points there. Let's see if Ben Roth can. Let's see if Ben can sweep Ben, and see if Ben could come back against Ben. And Ben is gonna score a point against Ben. Sorry, I thought I had to do that. I thought it would be funny, but next up we got Diddy Kong versus Jetstream. If Ben wins here, we're going to go to, Ben, I guess Ben wins over Ben. So, looks like Ben Roth is the better Ben. So, maybe they'll face off again in the finals. I mean, you never know. It's the only other time we'd see these 2 match up against each other that's non-regular season. Next up, we got Braden versus Grant. 2 blue teams. Looks like Braden's rocking an alternate lighter blue. Obviously, just contrast better with the leaderboard, and looks like a little bit of mishaps there, but Porto's gonna land on the track, and he's gonna score a point for Grant there. We got Laser versus Chrome. And Laser is just barely ahead of Chrome right there, and he qualifies for being on the track, so he's going to tie things up here. We got Double Shot versus Wrath. This is Grant's first round pick right here. And, I guess not a bad first pick. I feel like I was hating on him a little bit too much for picking it. And there was a lot of better options available, but still he delivers a good performance. We got Dragonfly versus Converse, and Dragonfly just takes it. Look, there's all our fun winners right there. Dragonfly is going to join him a short trip to the podium. Next up, we got Joker versus Compact, the two small cars. Let's see who's going to come out on top. And Compact just delivers. Obviously, with a no-show during the gauntlet, this is a necessary performance to give Grant the win over Braden. So, yeah, that's good for him. Next up, we got Peyton versus Alex. It's actually the only divisional rivalry matchup we got this week for you. So, if Peyton loses this, he is within elimination, I believe. So, we'll have to see here, because I believe a couple more people need to win, get 7 wins in order to eliminate Peyton here. But Peyton is holding off. I believe Drew and Isaac need a win in order to fully eliminate Peyton, which we won't be seeing until the end. So, we won't know for sure. But so, tie game here. We got Manta versus Fiat. And Fiat just unnecessarily delivers all the time. He finds new ways to win. Let's just say it like that. New ways to win and new ways to lose. That's how he goes. We got Bolt versus Blitz, and Blitz just comes out on top. Unfortunately for Peyton, his playoff destiny is not controlled by him right now. He's going to need to see some developments here. He's going to need Kian to beat Drew, and he's going to need Colin to beat Isaac in these later rounds. We got Landon versus Ermin, and this is Ermin's chance. He really needs to win here if he wants to put himself above Braden and give himself a spot in the playoffs. This comeback journey was similar to Braden's playoff journey. Obviously, Braden was sent back home in the conference championships last season against Landon. But now we got Ermin against Landon, and Ermin is having a field day right now. He could sweep him right here. You never know with these loop tracks. But another thing here, Lane 4 is just dominating Lane 2 right now. And it's not like it's like, it doesn't feel like any lane is specifically better. It's just, I don't know, the cars are just doing better. I think these matchups are just, oh my gosh, look at that. Robot was just barely not on there. Didn't score that. So Ermin's going to get a win. Not sure what this means for Landon, but could be something bad. This could be the difference between making playoffs and not making playoffs. But these next couple of weeks, I think it's going to be really close until we find out our true playoff picture, obviously. Some of the teams that are good are going to make it in early, but there's going to be a lot of teams fighting for these 3 and 4 spots here. So we got Drew versus Kian. If you were Peyton, you really need Kian to win here. If you want to stay in this contention, he could be the first team eliminated. That's really not a team we've been watching that much. Peyton just isn't really a team that people have been watching. He's not really known for winning, not really known for losing, I guess. But now that you think about it, he has the least amount of wins in the league. So, unfortunate but true reality for Peyton here. Drew could win this here. It's 2-1. We got Yellow Shy Guy versus Lakitu. And Lakitu just fumbles it. And with Yellow Shy Guy staying on the track, that's going to be one nail in the coffin for Peyton. He only needs one more nail, and it's all over. You'll be hearing from Peyton next season, maybe. Next up, we got Isaac versus Colin, our final match of the day. This is deciding a lot more than you think. So we got Magnum versus Black Yoshi, and Black Yoshi just spins out, but Magnum keeps his 2 back wheels on the track, and he's going to score a point over Colin there. So, good look for Isaac there. We got Toad versus Red Force, and look at that. Red Force just lands slightly ahead of Toad after getting through, part of the loop. We got Mustang versus Fireball. Let's see what's going to happen here. And Fireball spins out, but Mustang falls off the track. Colin's going to score a point right there. Good for him. We got Xenon versus AJ Brown. Now, AJ Brown has the clutch factor. He hasn't been clutch as of recent. Let's see if he can deliver. And he does just that, staying on the track. Obviously, if Xenon could have stayed on the track, that would have been wraps. Colin would have won, and Peyton would have still been alive, I believe. But we got Falcon versus Blanco, and Blanco just doesn't land ahead. Falcon is going to land right there. And with that, Peyton is eliminated, and Colin is pretty close to being eliminated too. So, thank you so much for watching. Those are all the matchups we got for today. Here is all of the rankings, all the teams that have lost, all the teams that have won. As you can tell, Lane 4 had a field day over Lane 2, and conveniently the only teams in Lane 2 that won were Drew and Isaac, the only two teams that Peyton did not want to win. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.